Well, hello everyone. This is my microphone speaking. My microphone's not talking, it's me. I will be coming to you live. I mean, I am coming to you live, but I'm going to switch to showing you my beautiful face. It's beautiful, isn't it? Right now. Oh, look! I have trimmed my beard. I am fresh and full of energy for you. That's not actually true. Not even close to true. I'm exhausted. It's been a long week. It's the end of the week. But I feel like I've got to get something done this week that's not wave function collapse. So I had a lot of things going on today. All those things wrapped up. My kids will not be home from school for a little bit while still. So I'm flipping on all the buttons, turning all the switches, grinding up all the gears, and coming to you live to do some kind of coding tutorial or chat session or something. I did not get a haircut, and I did eat, well, I did eat lunch. I don't know if you, it wasn't like I'm going to need a larger meal for dinner because I kind of ate around 11:30. I just had like a nice little peanut butter and jelly sandwich. For those of you who are asking, as all of you I'm sure were, I had some yogurt, but I think I'm good. Yes, so there's no haircut. I am wearing the hat though, and the beard has been trimmed, which I did myself because it's got to be spring at some point, and I don't need the full warmth of the longer beard. So anyway, what's going on? What's going on with all of you? I'm seeing some folks in the chat. Let me see if I can get my little chat preview device here. How does this work? Open this thing up. And all right. Oh, no. Oh, 5% battery remaining. Jeez. Why can't I ever remember to charge this thing? Okay. Let's see. Did I just get a really important message? Okay. I did. Look, hold on, everybody. I'm not. Are you there? Stick with me for a second here. I'm going to try to go to Stream Manager so I can see the chat here. An error occurred. I don't need to be watching that now. Thank you. Please type a message into the chat so I can see that it appears. Aha, Unicorn Coder has typed a message with an exclamation point. Have you ever considered rainbow whiteboard markers? Well, I mean, yeah. I've considered it. I got some good, interesting messages that I want to reply to, but I can't be doing that now. So this is what I was thinking. This is what I'm thinking of doing right now, though I'm open to your ideas and thoughts and suggestions. And let me just pull over here, although there is something just exciting came through the wire that I'm kind of interested in thinking about too. Okay, so let me bring up my computing screen here. This was my quick tweet saying like, here I go. I'm going to be live on Twitch, impromptu session, which all the sessions basically are at this point since I can't seem to get together to schedule anything in advance. The next sort of video that is in the pipeline to come out on the Coding Train YouTube channel is a video where I implement the wave function collapse algorithm. And if you have been following or paying attention to any of my recent streams, this will come as no surprise to you because there is approximately 9 hours of time that I spent working through this algorithm. I believe the final edited version of the video where it's, where my focus is to have the project coded from start to finish in the entire video will be somewhere between an hour and a half. Feature-length film coding challenge here, which I don't know how that's going to play or do on YouTube, but I've been toying around and thinking about the idea of maybe doing some more, I would say Sebastian Lag is a great example of this, of videos that just kind of give you an overview of a project and talk about the theory behind it and how it works and show you the result. But the thing that I try to stay true to is that any video that you watch, in theory, you will see the entire coding process from start to finish, warts and all. So, oh, the Apple II Plus is another thing that should go on this list. So let me make a list of things that I should probably consider catching. So today is a little bit of a catch-up stream, not a mayonnaise stream. There's your daily dad joke from me. I'm just looking for like a nice marker or pen. I guess I will use that pencil. That was, whoop. Oh, well, I could try this. One of the things that I would like to do is I was hoping Mathieu, who does a lot of the video editing, does a lot of it over the weekends. And the wave function collapse project is way too big. So, and I would like to have something like ready to put out on the channel sooner. So I was thinking of maybe trying to do something that could be anywhere between a 5 and 20 minute short tutorial or coding challenge. And one thing that I've never investigated, but I think would be really useful for the kind of P5 beginner coder would be how to work with local storage. So that's kind of on the top of my list. And while we're at it, I've been working on, I mean, this show has ended. I don't know if anyone's still interested, but I still am interested. The macro data refinement software needs some work. And Joseph, who I believe is in the audience, Food Masku is here. Everyone say hello to my good friend and colleague. I don't know what the right term to say, Food Masku. Everyone should check out their amazing artwork. I forgot what's happening. Joseph has been submitting some pull requests to the macro data refinement project, and I have been remiss in reviewing them and merging them, and one of them deals with local storage, so maybe I could look at that, merge it, kind of. I've never used local storage, but I hear it's really easy, so I feel like I could learn it, do it, make a quick tutorial. That's sort of my plan. So I'm reading your wonderful chat messages. So, and maybe how do you say Food Masku? Is that the right way to say it? Food Masku. Oh, there's a hype train incoming. Whoa. I also could potentially. I'm looking for something on like the sort of 10 print level. So if I go to, and boy, by the way, the new Coding Train website is really, really close. I hope like even possibly next week or certainly hopefully the week after, I think I'll be doing a stream soft launching it. So stay tuned for that. But I'm kind of not pushing the current website or showing you how to submit your stuff to the current website because it's all going to change anyway. So it kind of pains me to go look at this page. But I mean, I would have thought the Ulam spiral would be something I could along the lines of what I could do today, but something that I either really know how to do already, like image to ASCII, or, but really what I'm thinking of, is there something like 10 print? Something that could be done as like a quick generative algorithm to demonstrate, me make my own version of it, and prompt the audience on YouTube and in here, of course, as well, to make their own twist on it. So, and 10 print was one of your, thank you, Food Masku, and thank you, Mickey's Guy. Well, Mickey's Guy and Food Masku have been subscribing and gifting subscriptions. Mwah! Thank you for your subscription and gift of subscription. You've won me standing here sipping my coffee, looking at 10 print. Thank you. All right. All right. So while you're ruminating on, if any of you, like, what is that classic generative algorithm? Maybe there's one already on my list. Didn't I make a JSON? Did I do that? Wheel maintenance. So local storage, that's on the top of my list right now. Wheel maintenance, survey winners. That I need to do. I have some other list things. I should remind everybody that the processing fellowship applications, fellowship, that if you are interested in applying to a 2022 fellowship, The open call is still up. The deadline is this Sunday, so you still have a chance to do that. A sticker giveaway. I think I should do the sticker giveaway first. Because, yeah, 10%. Oh, and the Apple II Plus. Update you all on the Apple II Plus. I mean, the quick update on the Apple II Plus is I ordered a replacement power supply. I got some compressed air. I've got some cleaning stuff, and I hope to install the new power supply, clean it, try to clean the keyboard out, and get it going again. So that's where I am with that. I would love to do that on stream. I'm not really set up with a camera on it, but so I don't think that's for today, but could happen. I think the sticker giveaway should probably be the first thing. And then local storage should be the second, unless there is an idea for a coding challenge that just sweeps us all off our feet. It just blows in, the windows fly open, and through the leaves and through the air carries this idea for a little beautiful algorithm that you could implement and make a pattern in P5 in 10 to 15 minutes, release it as a YouTube video, and fame and fortune will result. That's what I'm looking for. What's that sound? That's the printer. Okay. That's the printer. All right, what else do I have to say to all of you? I'm just looking around and check my Twitter very quickly to make sure there are no other replies with suggestions. And people are interested in the, let me just go back here. People are interested in the local storage and the macro data refinement, which is perfect because those both two go together. First time chat from viewer. That's my favorite message to see. Dr. Honey. Do Sudoku for a coding challenge. The hype train success. I don't know what to play for that. The hype train is here, which means you've all won a musical dance experience from me, Daniel Schiffman, your host of the Coding Train on Twitch. Every so often when I feel like it, that's when it happens. Okay, thank you. Sandbox, no, all these things are much too hard. Hatch filling shapes created with a begin shape, 4-part series. All right, I'm not seeing anything. I think we're gonna do local storage. Let's go and start with macro. I should do the server. Let's start with macro data refinement. Okay. By the way, this I loved seeing. So I'm a fan of Dr. Christian Hubicki, who is a robotics professor out of Florida. Also a former Survivor contestant, the television show, American reality game show. Anyway, he does lots of really amazing and interesting work, explains algorithms and things in really wonderful ways. And I loved seeing this. Reminds me of some of the kinematics videos that I did. So everybody should follow Dr. Christian Hubicki on Twitter. All right, that's my little random plug. Let's go to here so I can close out some of these windows and minimize this. And we're going to get ready. I see I got a tweet that says yes, please, but I don't know what that means. All right, so here we are. And I am going to we're going to start by looking at macro data refinement. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, oh, you're in for a real treat. The perennial stream maintenance, like overlays, stream overlays. I have one for a poll now, but I should do little overlays and I was so inspired by Sable Raph's stream, and you can type things in the chat and little noises happen and things appear. It's all just wonderful. Okay, I thought we were starting with stickers. Okay, people want, let's start with the stickers. You're right, I can't keep putting that off. Okay, so I have to come back to here. So this is what I'm going to do. Give me a moment. Talks amongst yourselves. I am going to go to my Coding Train Google Drive. And I'm going to look up my password in my password manager. Okay. And okay, I need some kind of music here. Oh, it's so loud. I can't find my password. Oh my goodness, how hard can this be? Why am I not logged in? Got it. All right, I'm going to go look at the survey. All right, so in case you don't know what I'm talking about, this is the survey that I sent out for the Coding Train audience. It had, which I still cannot believe this, 2,171 responses. Oh, thank you, Coding Train world of people who all filled out this survey and all said you want me to stream on YouTube but not Twitch, and yet here I am. And there was an option, if you would like to be entered to win Coding Train stickers, please provide your email. So I'm going to attempt now to use the random.org API to pick the winners of the stickers without revealing any personal information about those people. So this should, Wolfram CA for a coding challenge. That is a really good idea. Tempting. I'm tempted by that, but not set. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is move over here, and I'm going to go look at the responses and open up the spreadsheet. Obviously, I'm not going to show that to you because it's people's personal information on it. I am going to sort it by those who entered their email, because you can't win unless you entered your email, which is fine. And what I'm going to do is I am going to zoom my screen in so you can only see, and I'm going to really try to do this carefully. You can see here, this is the spreadsheet. If I scroll down, we can see this is everybody who entered, and the very beginning. Oh, there we go. I knew that would happen. You saw a few emails there. I will cut that out before it ever gets archived anywhere. So I just wanted to show you, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll down to the bottom and see how many names this is. How many people entered their email? So a little over half. Yeah, thank you. That's what I wanted to show you that it was a legit, yeah, I'll make it very small. Thank you. Sorry about that. Icecoptered is rating. Hello to Icecoptered. I don't know who you are, but welcome to the Coding Train. This makes an amazing sound, but this is a custom laser etched whistle. Okay, so I did my best there. So going down to the bottom here, we're seeing that at line 1316 is the very last entry on April 1st with an email address that starts with an A. Okay, so I like all these new emojis that are coming in. So all I need to do is pick I'm going to give 10 sticker packs away. I think I said 5, but there's a lot of people entered this survey. Let's do 10. So that gives you like a 1 in 100-ish shot. I need to pick a number between 1 and 1316. Let me just make sure the first entry is row 2. So I need to pick a number between 2 and 1316, 10 times. So we're going to go to editor.p. Now, let me log in here. Now, I certainly could just use the random function. Like, this is not, to be clear, I'm going to be doing this a lot of times, and those times don't count. I will say when it is the time that counts. But for example, this could be as easy as writing a loop to do some line of code 10 times, picking a number between 2 and, what did I say, 1316? But if I wanted to include 1316, the top of the range has to be 1317, because the random function in P5 will give me a floating point or decimal number, and the floor function will take off that decimal place. So the lowest number I could get is like 2.0, and the highest number I get is 1316.9999, infinite nines. So, so let's see here. Then I could console log the pick. Now again, this is not the actual run of the pick. But we see that I have 10 numbers. Then I would save these numbers, go back into the spreadsheet that's in this particular order, and copy out those email addresses, and then send an email to all those people letting them know that you've won the sticker pack. If you would like to receive it, please, you have to send your mailing address. Okay, that's the process. However, they are sorted alphabetically, not by date. That is correct. But I will be glad to do whatever I can do to verify this is all above board. I mean, poor Gloria, my poor Gloria, who's my dog, is sleeping in the corner of this room. There's a nice, beautiful, comfy bed right over there. All right, but I feel like for this to be the true random selection that I want it to be, the pseudo-random number generator inside P5 is not going to do the trick. So instead, I would like to go to random.org, which, from what I understand, this is a website that is tied to physical sensors, which are reading atmospheric noise for getting true randomness. A pseudo-random number generator, which for the purpose of creative coding is plenty good enough. I mean, you would think I would just use this, right? This would really make sense for me to use my random number book. But that feels like it's going to be too arbitrary and doesn't have the right range. So let's use this. So I certainly could just go to like any of these, I'm sure, random drawings, right? It has a paid service to do random drawings that are sort of multi-round giveaway service or verified video giveaways. So I would love to do this at some point if I was doing sort of a more proper thing, but I think we can get away with just using the API and make our own. So HTTP API. So let's take a look at this. Integer generator is what we want to do. We'll generate truly random numbers in configurable intervals. It's pretty easy to write a client to access the GET requests, so parameters are passed via encoding in the URL. Okay, so we just need to find what is the URL for the API. Here it is. Here's an example. It looks like we can actually figure this out probably just from the URL itself. So let's take a look at this URL and see if we can unpack it. So integers. We want 10 of them. The minimum digit is 2. The maximum digit is 1316. Take off this auto refresh. I don't understand. Column is 1. That's fine. Base is 10. That's fine. Format is... Can I get JSON? That would be nice. Random is new. Let's see if it'll give me that in JSON. Oops. Come on, give me this URL back. Oh, I can't use the computer. Why? Why are you doing this to me? Fine, I'm going to change it to here. JSON. Nope. Plain or HTML? Okay, so we want plain. Fine. Plain. So actually, all I want to do is change the... help. Plain. All right. Now the question is the max inclusive or exclusive? If the maximum number is 1316, can I receive the number 1316? We better check that because I wouldn't want that person to have no chance. So I assume minimum, the lower bound inclusive, maximum, the upper bound inclusive. So both of these are inclusive. So I can use that. So that is correct. So now I will say, let me call load strings, URL, got data. So what I'm doing here is this URL, which will connect to the random.org API, will give me a list of 10 numbers between 2 and 1316. I will ask P5 to go and fetch that page. When the data comes back, it will execute a callback, got data. And all I'm going to do is the data that comes back will come in through the argument to the got data function, and I'm going to log it. So let's see. This is not the official selection. This is just testing. Okay, look at that. Now, why do I have this extra one? That bugs me. I don't like that. That's fine. That's just what load strings is doing. It's like got an extra carriage return then. I could get the same number twice. Yes. So I think we're just going to have to live with that. And I could do a couple of different things. One, that person gets 2 sticker packs. More likely, what I think I'd like to do is if the same number comes up twice, I will spin again for a new number. So are we all ready for this? Is this ice cold? How do you don't know your number? That's the problem. I wish if I had thought about this, what I would do is I would email everybody out, like write some script to send everybody a reply with their number. And then I could do the drawing and people would see like, my number got picked, like a real raffle. But I didn't get it together to do that. If I do this again, I'll do it that way. Now you're going to have to put some faith in me. But if you're Katie at thecodingtrain.com and Jason, who is probably printing the stickers, will be helping me with this. And if you want to verify that I'm doing this correctly, you should feel free to email me, Daniel at thecodingtrain.com. We do need a drum roll. It is coming. Are we all ready? This is going to be it. This is the official roll for the stickers. Okay? Clear the console. Clear the console. Wait, hold on. Clear. Sorry. Let's try that again. Here we go, everybody. Ready for this? $382, 1,036, 1287, 1228, 1224, 760, 805, 77. Number 2, the first line, number 2. That's crazy. So somebody, if your email address starts with a Z, If it's very, very, if your email address is like ZY, ZX, ZZ, you've got a good chance here. And 91. And don't be alarmed by the ... That's just, there's an extra 11th non-existent element of the array. So let me save these somewhere meaningful. Let's go to, like, I'm just going to make this a gist. Winners.txt. Picked via random.org. And then I'll also add this code for anybody who wants to try this themselves. I'll make this a public gist. And there you go. So if you want to look at this code or look at the numbers, this is all, it's all going to tie perfectly. Maybe that's what macro data refinement is. It's picking numbers of people who should get sticker giveaways. That must be it. So now let me see here what to do. Let me press this button. Let me move over here and see if I can go to links. All right, so if you're wondering what's going on here, join the Discord, the Coding Train Discord. I have a channel in here called Links, where what I tend to do is if stuff's happening during a stream and I want to pass you the URL for it, I will post it here. Okay. So that's coming here. That is done. We have checked off. I have checked off something on my list. Oh, thank goodness. Survey winners. There you go. So I will make sure those emails go out. You can email me. It goes right to me, right into my eyeballs directly. Daniel@thecodingtrain.com. If you want to, if you're like, want to fact check me, what number was I? Whatever. I'm happy to reply to all of you. Or I'll forward it to somebody who can reply to you. The giant team of people that are all working day and night to keep this train running with renewable energy, hopefully. Okay. We've got Hard Rock Hope in the chat. Hello to Hard Rock Hope. Oh, I just saw. Maybe you're not on that one. You're not. I just. We're going to get into some post-show recaps, podcasting discussion in a moment, because I'm strangely going back to this weird macro data refinement project, which will lead to a nice tutorial related to P5. It's all going to come together perfectly. But I need if you're interested in, if you watch TV and you're interested in podcasts, Hard Rock Hope in the chat will lead you to the best place on earth for all of that. Okay, so the next, as I mentioned, the next video that is coming out on the YouTube channel is about the wave function collapse algorithm. So stay tuned for that. I think what I can do next is move on to this local storage idea. So all right, so this is where it's very good that Hard Rock Hope is in the chat who can answer all your questions about what nonsense I'm about to get myself into. And so I was recently obsessed with a television program called Severance. I will be doing my best to, it's not my intention to spoil anything about the show. I'm just working on this piece of software that recreates something that happens in the show that's kind of mysterious and nobody knows what it is anyway, so I couldn't even possibly spoil it if I wanted to. But if you're really, really averse to like anything that might possibly have to do with this show that's already completely aired, because you were planning to watch it like tonight, then maybe now's your time to jump out and you could come back later. But again, nothing about the plot here. But it's a nice demonstration of certain things. It's a nice demonstration of certain kinds of things that I do all the time in various coding videos with P5.js. So it's a bit overly engineered and kind of more complex than a lot of projects that I might do in a short tutorial, but it is kind of fun to work on. And one of the things that I would like to demonstrate is how to work with local storage in the browser. So the stars have aligned, and one of the stars of the coding train, JHTRTN, has opened a pull request, number 27, which assigns a file for refining and saves progress in local storage. So it is my goal, and I don't know if Rex Aril is there, if whoever Rex Aril is, if they happen to be in the chat, please say hello, because I would love to talk about this pull request, which now this shader thing is maybe usurped a little bit, but I love the work that you did there. So let's get the most recent version of this repository. And I think it's probably somewhere on the desktop. There we go. So we're bringing in, whatever's changed since. I'm going to run a local web server here. So I'm running a local web server on my computer. I am going to pick this up here. And now we've got the piece of software running. So the idea here, it's not a perfect, accurate recreation of the software that you see running in the television show itself, where the characters in the show are supposed to collect numbers. They're often referred to as scary numbers. I mean, they're pretty terrifying. And so the action that I've implemented with this, which is not exactly what happens in the show, is just by a mouse click and kind of creating a rectangular box over an area of characters. If they happen to be the characters that uses open simplex noise, which is a particular algorithm that I've gone over in some videos, to choose which ones should start to jiggle and get larger or get smaller. So if I happen to select a group of them that is currently wiggling, that they will then be collected. They'll pick one of these buckets, the little doors open, the numbers get, I can't believe that I'm explaining this. It's so ridiculous. And eventually little things happen, like if you get to a certain percentage, you get little Easter eggs and little things happen. I have been keeping track of a list of things that should be implemented for this to be, we have a year now, basically. Like, this has got to be done in time for the second season, right? Because clearly everybody is waiting for this to be finished. The entire world and the future of our humanity rests on whether or not I can successfully recreate this thing from some TV show that I like. Anyway, so if you're interested in contributing to this, if I sold you on enough, there's lots of things you could potentially work on that are listed here. You could file a comment, join the Discord and say hello, that kind of stuff. And American 2050 is here. I have not watched, so Hard Rock Hope, I didn't get it. I have seen the documentary, I think that was on Hulu about WeWork, because I kind of followed the whole saga a bit, but I have not watched We Crashed or gotten into that particular podcast. Although I think you all mentioned, and sorry that I'm just having a conversation with one viewer right now, but I think you all mentioned that I should just listen to the last episode of that podcast. I think you were talking about this on the Severance podcast. Anyway, I should check that out. All right, so if you're trying to find the repo, let me put that link into the Discord. That's now in the Discord channel under links. If I do ! I think in the chat, if I have learned, if old man, Twitch man, me, could ever learn how Twitch works. It's weird how I totally know how to work certain things on computers, and then other things I'm don't understand at all, like Twitch, but that's part of the shtick. Okay. Discord. There you go. If I type in this command, GitHub also works. Well, the reason why you're not finding the repo is because I decided to, at one point I was like, let's make this mysterious as if nobody knows who's making this. And I made a GitHub organization called Lumen Industries, which is the sort of nefarious corporation. I don't know what your point of view is. I mean, I don't know what's not a nefarious corporation, frankly, but can there be a corporation that's not nefarious? Very, very hard to reconcile that in my mind. But I mean, the coding train technically there is like this LLC entity that I had to form at one point for, and I'm only like mildly nefarious. So anyway, right, that's why you can't find it, because it's over here under macro data refinement. All right, so let's look at Joseph's pull request here and kind of take a look at what new code was implemented. So the first idea here is that what I love what Joseph did is, I guess in the show, you Googled Lumen Industries and it pointed to me. Interesting. Never hand Dan Schiffman a hand drill. Oh, truer words never been spoken. Oh, can I show you guys something really wild though? This is so, I know that the stream's like, I can't, it's Friday, it's the afternoon, it's been a very long week. Will you please indulge me in the randomness of this? Just please, time out. Just wait here. The screen will still be here. I'll put on the wide shot here. So I'm gonna move around and I'm gonna find something because I think I have to go into this other area here. Oh, Gloria, stay there. Don't let the Gloria, stay there. That's my dog. Can you still hear me? Hold on, I'm looking for something that I'm very excited to show you, and it's gonna be really sad when I can't find it. After all, it's got to be here somewhere. I know where it's here. It's a little toolbox. It has an antique old hand drill that I found when I was getting the Apple II Plus. I don't see the chat, by the way. Did Gloria make an appearance? Okay, I can't follow. This is so sad. This is so sad. I found my daughter's bicycle. I've been looking for that. I mean, I haven't really been looking for it. I've been trying to get her to ride it. It's a helmet, some roller derby stuff here. It's not mine. Where is it? Where is that toolbox? Oh, this is so sad. I'm so bad at finding things. I have to come back. This was a failed, potentially exciting moment. I hope the wireless mic that I'm wearing kind of reaches this far. Oh, shoot. Okay. Oh, well. That was going to be something that's just the total failure. Okay. All right. Gloria, you want to say hi? At least I'll show you a puppy. I mean, she's not a puppy. She's like 7 years old. Come here, doggy. Come here, girl. Come here. Come here. No, come here. Come here. Good girl. Good girl. Oh, come on. She really loves for me to pick her up. Apparently not. I don't know if you caught her. There. All right. Sorry about that. Where is it? Do I already have that toolbox in here somewhere? All right. That was a total failure. What was I doing? Yes. Come back over here. All right. So I'm working on this. Joseph submitted this pull request. And the idea is that you get assigned a file name. Keep a list of completed files in local storage. I think Sudoku. All right. So files. Got it. So interesting. All right. I'm looking through this. Okay. I'm fine with that. These are all from episode 2. There are more shown in episode 1. Could we crowdsource more? Okay. Used to using JS modules to avoid adding things to global scope. Would it be better to wrap these methods in a macro data file class to avoid? All right, you know what I'm going to do? This is how I operate. I'm just going to merge this, and then I'm going to pull it down, and we can kind of look at it. It'll be easier to look at it once I have it. I mean, I should show you. Let's show you some proper GitHub workflow stuff. Because we all know, if anything, I follow all best practices for coding. So I think what I can do is, sometimes GitHub will give me a nice little clue here of what to do if I want to look at it. But command line instructions, yeah. Let's look at this. So this is helpful for us to see. What I can do is I can, from my project repository, check out a new branch to test the changes. Okay. So what this is doing is I'm saying, hey, JHRTN, Joseph, has created a branch called Save Progress Local Storage. So what I want to do is grab that branch. I don't know what the -b is. I never remember what these little command line arguments are. but we can do, but in theory, if I put this here, it's going to move me into this branch. Now the code is still the same, I believe, because while I'm sitting in this branch, I've changed the name of my branch to match Joseph's branch. I haven't actually pulled the new code yet. And then now what I will do is pull in the code here. And now we can see we have some new stuff. Like there's a new JavaScript. I love that there's a JavaScript file called macrodata.js. There's some utils.js. I think bin.js is something that I wrote for the original version. So now if I go back into the browser, I should be seeing the newer version of it. I need to make sure it's not caching the old. Anyway, I got Kingsport. So first thing first, let's look at where did Joseph add this list of file names. So let's open up Visual Studio Code. -B means create the branch, says David in the chat. Thank you. I knew that. Totally knew that. I was pretending so that you would all have to answer. No, actually, it is something that I did know at one point. My brain doesn't retain anything anymore. Welcome to old man Schiffman on Twitch. Okay, why am I talking about myself in the third person? That's just weird. All right, sketch. Let's see. I'm looking for Joseph. If you're there, here they are. So the file names are just hard coded. So this, by the way, is an excellent opportunity for some wonderful algorithmic language generation magic, because I think we could have a lot of fun with generating these. Does anybody know? I forget what it uses, but one of my favorite things about the P5 web editor, which is that every time you make a new sketch, it gives it sort of a default name. And so if I make a new one, Grateful Nutria, Pointed Land, Zany Clownfish. So this could be done with any number of sort of machine-readable dictionaries or language-based APIs. Like WordNik is one that I love, the WordNik API. But recently I was using let's look at it, speaking of things related to severance, but for one of the Twitter bots that I'm running, which I believe is at UURBot on GitHub. Nope. Let's go here, repositories, UUR, it has some dashes in it that I missed. One of the APIs that I'm using in this is Hugging Face, which is a thing that I need to make some tutorials on. I'm using the Rita natural language processing library, but what I'm looking for is the API. I forget what it's called. It's not WordNik. Wrap Words API. Let's see. Words API. So this is just a nice API for the English language, and you could say hey, give me a random word, give me an adjective with 7 letters, give me a verb that starts with P and put it in the past tense. There's a lot of stuff you can do with APIs like this, which I think could be fun to incorporate. But that aside, we have these. So the idea is that I'm trying to understand the storage available. So the reason why I'm looking at this is I want to learn how local storage works so that I can make a nice little quick tutorial about it. Maybe I'm trying to think of a good context. What's something that's really simple that I do often? It could be your high score, it could be a streak. It could be this slide puzzle, for example. You could always have the slide puzzle, when you come back to it, it reloads where you last were. Something like that could be useful. So loading the state of something you've done before. I don't know if there's a previous coding challenge that I could easily adapt to having for using local storage. So if you have an idea about that, let me know in the chat. Got to think about this. But we can see that, I guess, storage available. Is this a function that you wrote, Joseph? No. Storage available, JavaScript, Mozilla. So by the way, one little tip here. I tend to, whenever I'm searching online for a documentation page for something related to web development, I will often toss in the term Mozilla because I generally prefer the developer.mozilla.org API docs as opposed to other things that you might find like different other websites. So we can go here to using the web storage API. Basic concepts. You can just, basically it looks like the idea is that in any sketch, just make a counter. Yeah, I guess making a counter is good. I like the idea of doing it. Doing a counter would be a good first demo. I guess I would love to come up with something that's a little bit more tied into the concepts of creative coding, although I guess a counter could be that. It's in utils, but it's from the Mozilla example. So let's go and take a look at utils. Thank you. So this is a function that Joseph defined that checks, oh, so this is what I don't love about this kind of stuff. Like, does P5 not have a wrapper for local storage? It would be so easy to make one. P5 local storage. Oh, look at this. Get item. So P5, oh, mwah. Every day is a new day to love P5. I wish that when I did that, it could actually make that, like I could draw that and little sparkles would happen. So I kind of like this idea of now just using the P5 local storage wrappers, which store a value in local storage under the key name. Local storage is saved in the browser and persists between browsing sessions. Yes, sorry, I have to reply to this text message that I have the dog with me. The dog is not lost. Yes, Gloria with me. Okay. Shouldn't have looked at my messages because now I have lots of things to deal with that are kind of stressful. Okay. Yes, you could refactor the pull request to use this if you want. I don't have a strong preference for this. I'm just kind of looking at it to understand what's going on, but I think I should probably move on quickly to doing a simpler tutorial because I think this could kind of go on. But it looks like, I guess what this is doing here is it's a way of sort of checking, is local storage available? If it is, returning, just returning true. Oh, it's just testing, it's running a test to see if you can actually store something. Now I guess it's important to make sure in a lot of contexts that your web applications work across many different browsers and operating systems. In terms of people all over the world who have different accesses to different kinds of computers and technologies. But I think probably for most contexts where people are using P5, local storage will be available. I just wonder what happens in P5 if local storage is not available. Get item, store item. So let's just investigate this quickly before we start recording a tutorial. Well, let's do the count. Look, here's what I'm going to do. I think this would be more effective as an actual tutorial. So I'm going to practice it through to figure it out. And then I will go back and do it again, kind of recording it as a tutorial. Okay. Sketch that lets the user choose a color palette when they refresh the page, the palette remains. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. So let's start with Simon's idea, which is a counter. I'm going to create, and this is great for anybody who's a total beginner here who might be watching. This is the kind of thing that I hope you could follow. And you let me know if you've never coded before. I know we had one, I don't know if our rec hope is still there, but we had one viewer who's never coded before, I think. So I'm going to, as I always like to do, I try to keep things as beginner friendly as possible. 5 megabytes per page. So that's an important, let's make some notes of things I need to mention. So limit of 5 megabytes. Not all browsers necessarily support it. And then I also want to list off some prompts and ideas. One idea was a color palette, which I could make my example, but that's also a great idea for me to just lift off. Okay, COTS Parade is a total newbie here, so great. So what I have here is a variable called counter that's storing the number 0. And in P5, this create canvas function is going to make this canvas on the right that is 400 pixels wide and 400 pixels high. So now we see that, and then I can draw something into the canvas in this side of this area of code that's called draw. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to say fill 255, which is for making a color white. I'm going to say text size 64 for making a large 64-point font, I suppose. Then I'm going to say text align, center, center. Then I'm going to say text counter and 200, 200. So if I rerun this sketch, we see a nice 0 in the center. And then if I say counter plus plus, and I run the sketch, we can see the counter is going up. Now the counter is going up very fast because this loop, this draw loop is happening over and over again. And I realize for the total beginner, I'm certainly skipping over a lot of things. Thank you, Ico Crush. Appreciate it. So I think I'd like to slow that down. Just I think it'll help us track what's going on a little bit better. I could just alter the frame rate, but I'm going to do something a little bit strange, which will definitely be unfamiliar to any of you who are totally new here. But I will try to briefly explain it. I'm going to use the modulo operator to basically change it so that only every 30 times through draw that the counter will increase. So if the animation we were seeing was happening around 30 frames per second, then the counter would increase once per second. Not an exact science. We could do something to, I've done videos about how to make a clock and a real timer with real time. It's not what we're doing here. So then I need to say set item. Is that what it is? Set item. Oh, okay. Let's just try something first. I'm going to do let num equals get item count. And then I'm going to say console log num. So the get item function in theory should pull something out of local storage. So what would you guess is in num right now? My guess would be, I'll give you a minute to think. Store item, it's not set item. You might have missed, Mr. PhD, that I am using the, oh, it is store item. The P5 functions, which are store item. Okay, but I haven't gotten there. It's just get item. So my guess is going to be undefined. So if I run this, null. Okay, null is another word for undefined. There is nothing there. Now, if I were to add set item count to the counter, now if I run it, store item, store item. If I run it, every time the counter increases, it's updating local storage. So in theory now, if I hit stop, and by the way, I have no idea what's going to happen because the P5 web editor's got a lot of extra things going on with the like iframe page that's in here versus the code window. So I'm a little bit worried about what's going to happen, but let's find out. I should see the last number that I stored in count now. And don't ask me why I called this num, but called the item count. 8! Aha! Beautiful! Brilliant! Okay. Sorry, I'm blocking the console. Thank you. This all gets fixed when I record in the editing process, but I appreciate this feedback. Let's see, let me leave this here. So first of all, oh, I'm totally standing in the way. That's weird. Oh, you know what it is? This is just too far over. Sorry, thank you for that reminder. And let me minimize this. Okay. Ah! Oh, I don't need that. Okay. Yes, there we go. And now if I run it again, we should see 49. 49, amazing. So now all I need to do is say counter equals num. And in theory, every time I run this sketch, stop it, it left off at 15. It picks back up at 15. All this, where have you been all my life, local storage? That's what I want to know. So just check the source. P5 doesn't check if the feature is supported. That's fine. It probably, is it? Yeah, I have to handle the null case. Yes. So if num, thank you, is not equal to null. Okay. So, and then I assume if I were to do something like, well, I'll get to this later, like clear cache. Is that going to clear my local storage? I don't know. Yeah, get item count or 0 is good. Yeah, I mean, this has got a lot of extra stuff right now. Like this would be a nice little optimization. Whoops. Okay, so I think I might be ready to record this as a tutorial. But let me think about this idea of a color palette or some kind of design. A drawing application, like for example, I mean, that would make more sense to just save the image. I don't know what I'm looking for here. Like, so counter is a great first start. I should use counter first. Then I want to do something. Oh, 3 sliders, an RG and a B. That's great because then I can store an object. Oh, what if we do that, but then also have a painting program and I store the path or just the image? JSON stringify. I can't just save the object? No, I would assume, I don't think I need to use stringify. Couldn't I just do, all right, let's run a little test here. If I do store item, object, test, yeah, I don't think you need to stringify it. I think, and I don't know, I'm sorry for all this stuff that's kind of in the way here. That's the point of, I'm going to clean up this table here. Game of life, that's interesting. That's a good idea. Flappy Bird. So high score is great. The one reason why high score isn't really a great demonstration is it's only, this is local storage. So there's no persistent network connectivity here. So it can't be used for like a high score for a game that multiple people are playing. I mean, Wordle is exactly the scenario I think that I will bring up as to start. And so like a streak of have you done it every day kind of thing could really work. In vanilla JS, you would need to stringify and parse. P5 is doing the magic behind the scenes. Well, that's why I love P5. So that might be worth mentioning. Local storage. Behind the scenes, you have to stringify. So would it work? This is an interesting question then. If I were to let's make a graphics object. Let's try this. So what I'm going to do here is just create a really quick sketch. This is a little bit wonky, especially for the beginners here. But bear with me. So what I'm investigating here is the following. Oh, whoops. What did I miss here, people? What's wrong with me? Why is this not working? I wouldn't trust local storage for anything that matters. Yes, that's definitely a very good point. But wait, why is what I'm doing here? Oh, there we go. That was weird. There we go. It just was too dark. Okay. I don't know why I got stuck there. Okay. So what I'm curious about, is could I actually just store a full object, a store item canvas G? I mean, probably what I should do is go and store the pixels. But could I then say G equals get item, and then if G is null, make a new blank one? Like, what's the chance that this works? So if I click the mouse, okay. Convert, okay, yeah, so it's doing a stringify thing. So I would have to do this myself. All right, thanks. Thanks to those of you who are taking off to go to sleep or get a bike fix. That's lovely to see and hear. This would not be a particularly great thing to do, but if I really wanted to do this, I could invent my own object and sort of stringify the pixel values, or do like this is using local storage to store like pixels of a canvas probably is going too far, but the data of some type of application, local storage for dark and light mode settings, yeah, for like settings. Okay. Store the image blob, right? So I could try a blob, but I don't think this is really a great path to send people down on. Like, oh, just store the state of your canvas like as a raw bitmap. Like that's a bit of an edge case. So let's I wanted to test out this idea. I like the RGB idea. That's perfect. And I could imagine storing like a list of XY positions, for example. Okay. Primitives are things that JS natively knows about. Yes. Yeah. Canvas ELT to data. Oh, of course. Oh, right. That's the way. And that actually would make sense. I do this all the time. It's I'm sorry, I'm thinking here. Let's try this. Oh, I remember why I had this out wider, because then I can do that. There we go. To data URL. I think it's capital R, capital L. Okay. Yeah. So that worked actually. It's not a terrible. This is actually not a bad idea. Now I'm like, this is not a bad idea anymore, because then I can say, I mean, this is like a base 64 image, and then I can make can I do this? I think I can just do, how do I make a P image object out of that? Create image. That doesn't do it, does it? Okay. It's less of a bad idea. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, to save an array of the positions of the circles. Load image. Right. Load image. But will that needs a callback. Okay. Save. No. Okay. So this is. I mean, this is getting very convoluted now. Whoa! Oh, because of the, all right, hold on. There's a pixel density issue. Oh, you know what? This is very silly. I can use just the canvas itself. I don't know why I need a separate one. But anyway, this works, but it's being weird. Okay. All right. I'm going to let this get really, really full. Just look at the reference. Looking at the reference, that's much too sensible of you. Okay. Can you remember what that image looked like? Hold on, I'm not going to draw any more things. There we go. I saved it and got it back. That's kind of cool, actually. I'm not recording now. I'm just messing around. So, all right. So the counter is obviously a good starting point. RGB sliders is maybe even a better one. All right, I have an idea. Let's make a sketch. Oh, sorry, I'm standing in front of the code again. So I'm just making a quick sketch. Okay, so this is a sketch that has R, G, and B. Oh, and I need to say fill RGB. And I do want to say this is a little bit unfortunate. I hate that I have to do this, but okay. Okay. So this is a good starting point, I think, for the idea of local storage. We have a sketch which has 3 sliders. And the first thing I would do is just always have the sketch set the sliders to where you previously had them. So maybe actually, let's start off with something simpler. How did it get to be 4:30 already? Create color picker. Yeah, I do know about that. But that's going to add too many variables to this little scenario. Background RGB. Oh, right. Okay, great. This actually works perfectly. So what we're going to do, this is going to be the beginning of using local storage. So let me move some things here. Put this here. Okay. Okay, I'm going to move this to the side. Am I set up to record a little tutorial here? I think I am. Hello, Creatine Hi in your first time chat. Sorry, Mr. PhD. There's some wonkiness with Nightbot and not allowing links, and I don't know. I need to figure out how to get that set up better, maybe. Okay. Move this a little bit more to the side. Yes, chaining is something I could do. Maybe that actually makes sense. I try to avoid chaining because it creates these very long lines of code, which are hard to read in my smaller space. And also, and also they can be confusing for beginners, but it is a good point. Okay. I need to open my recording engine here to record to disk. Remind me later. Start recording. Okay, I'm recording to disk now. Okay. Okay. All right. I hear you, Simon. Good feedback about the color picker. I'm going. I'm locked in now. I'm locked into what I'm doing. Okay. Though I do want to mention the color picker. All right. Hold on. I found something. Here it is. Let's see here. Is that too much in the way there? Can't really see it. So just go here. Does that work? Okay, I think I'll put this to the side. Okay. Right? Isn't that just so perfect how they're all like lined up there so precisely? Oh, it makes me so happy. So you can store objects if you stringify them, and P5 handles that for us. So I will have to address that. But I'm going to do it first as storing 3 separate values. Okay. Okay. Hello, Mark Boots. Hello, everyone. Here we go. Hello, and welcome to a supplemental P5 tutorial. Haven't done one of these in a while. I totally freaked Gloria out by ringing this bell. Okay, I have a half an hour before I really need to stop. Gloria, don't worry. It's just a bell. You're fine. You're fine. Go back to sleep. It's all good. Go back to sleep. Hello, and welcome to a... Don't need to overthink this. This is a really simple tutorial I'm just going to do about local storage. Hello, and... Hello, and welcome to a supplemental P... Where does that show? Oh, that shows up there. That's bad. If only I could just begin. Oh, am I recording? I am recording. Okay. Oh, I'm really freaking out, Gloria. Poor Gloria. Here, you want to go? You can go in there. Hold on. I'm going to let Gloria go to somewhere where she's a little happier. Okay. Go on. Okay, here I come. Yeah, the dog cam. I got to get the dog cam going because now I have a little spot for her and everything. All right. Hello and welcome to a supplemental P5JS tutorial. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to use local storage. Have you ever wanted your P5 sketch to start up where it last left off? Do you not feel like trying to figure out some kind of complex cloud database storage solution? Then you're in exactly the right place. Local storage is for you. Yes, you are getting sold something. Only $19.95. No, it's free. I mean, it just comes with P5. If you're, I was going to try to mention Wordle here. I feel like would be good to sort of, if you're like me and you have a 90-day Wordle streak going, how does your phone or your computer know that you've been playing it every day? You didn't log in. You didn't sign up for anything. It just remembers you were there yesterday. If you go to a different computer, it doesn't know who you are. This is all due to local storage. Local storage means saving data locally in the browser itself, your browser on your computer and there only. It's not going to work if you need a database that it's not going to work for user accounts or for a list of high scores of people playing games across the world. It's not a robust solution for user accounts or game high scores or any kind of true network-based data or messaging. Has this ever happened to you? Well, they do. It's not a robust database solution for user accounts or certainly password. It's not a robust database solution for you. It's not a robust database solution for user accounts or high scores for multiplayer games or anything where you really need some kind of networked data storage. But for simple things that you just want to keep track of from session to session on your own computer and your own P5 sketch, there's a lot of. But for simple things that you just want to keep track of from session to session each time you run a P5 sketch, it is, I mean, local storage, where have you been all my life is what I have to say to you, local storage. Don't say session. Don't say session. Yes. Don't say session. Yes. I shouldn't say session. It's not like cookies or session. Okay. It's not a robust database solution for user accounts or high scores for multiplayer games or anything where you really need network communication and storing data across different computers. But for just keeping track of some information that happened the last time you ran your P5 sketch and you're running it again, or if you close your computer and close your browser and you come back the next day and want to leave off where you last left off, a setting, progress in something, it's perfect for you. Session's totally a different thing. It's not a robust database solution for user accounts or high scores and multiplayer games or anything that really needs proper network communication and data storage in the cloud. But for just having a P5 sketch that runs and picks some colors, and then the next time you run it, those colors come back just for you working locally on your own computer, it is just perfect. Exactly, Sudscast. A classic example of this might be yeah, okay, well, people told me perfect, so I'm going to move on. So I have come ready to this tutorial with a simple P5JS sketch. Am I running this right now? Yes. So here I am in this tutorial with a very basic P5JS sketch. It creates 3 sliders, each with a range between 0 and 255, starting with the value of 0. Then in the draw loop, I pull the values from each slider and use them to set the color values of the background. Some red, a little bit of green. Let's add a lot of blue. Let's take out some of the green. Let's add some more red. And there we have a beautiful pink. Why did I start speaking in accent? Yes. What if I want the next time I run this sketch to see that pink color again? It's not going to happen just by rerunning the sketch. Any time you load a page, it starts anew. anytime you run a P5.js sketch, whether you're loading it for the first time or rerunning it in the P5 web editor, it starts fresh. Now, local storage is something that comes. Now, local storage is part of the JavaScript API. I don't know what to call this. Local storage is something that comes as part of JavaScript and the browser API. It's part of the browser window object. And we could go through how to access, save, and retrieve data from local storage in plain JavaScript. But I'm here using P5, and wouldn't you know it, if you needed another reason to love P5, it's got a set of helper wrapper functions that allow you to put things in local storage and retrieve them whenever it's convenient for you. It used to be part of the HTML5 spec, but it's separate now. Is anything I said there kind of like inaccurate? Not all browsers do support local storage, but not all browsers support local storage. So if you are releasing a web application used by people all over the world in millions of, not all browsers support local storage. So there could be some scenarios where it doesn't work. But for our purposes, I'm not going to do any error handling. I'm just going to assume local storage is supported. There are only 2 functions you need to know in P5 to use local storage. If only I could remember what they are. They're both found in the P5 reference, store item and get item. They do exactly like what they sound like they do. Store items, store item stores something in local storage, get item retrieves it from local storage. Okay, so I can cut the, Coding Garden is here to fact check everything I'm about to try to explain. Hi, Coding Garden. Okay, so I can cut that part out. I'll just cut that out of the video. I won't worry about addressing it. Okay. All right, I realized that this actually, there's some complexity to this example because it's like, when do I save it? But I will address that. First things first, I need to decide when do I want to save the R. So first things first, I need to decide when do I want to save values to local storage. So first thing first, I need to figure out when do I want to store the red, green, and blue values in local storage. I could put that in the draw loop, like, I'm animating, just store. And that might be okay to do in some context. But I think here I can basically choose to save the values in local storage anytime I've used the slider and the value has changed. I forget what the event is called in P5. Is it just changed? I think it's changed. So here I am using the changed event, which is executed anytime I make a change to the slider. I'm trying to decide if I need to get into the weeds with this. So here I've added the changed event, which executes whenever I've completed a change for the slider. There is a different event called input, which will continuously fire as I'm moving the slider around. But I think I can wait until I've finished my completed. I think I can wait until I've completed my motion of the slider. Then in the function, I'll call the P5 store item function. Store item takes two arguments. I need a key, a unique string that names the piece of data I want to save. In this case, I'll call it red. Ooh, look at that. That's freaking me out. Why did it did that and then it went away? Okay, so I don't know. Okay, good thing I'm going to end soon because Abhijit, I'm glad you got your mom's permission to stay, but it's important that you get sleep, okay? This is your American coding parents saying, listen to your mom and make sure you go to bed on time, okay? All right. So the key to unlock the data is red, and the data is just the value of the R slider. And let me just add a console log to make sure I see when this event is happening. I'm going to move the red slider, let go, and I see the 168 value, and it should be stored in local storage now. Oh, there's some lovely gifting happening. Now, the question is, and this is a little bit, then the question is, when do I want to load the data? And I've kind of done this in a weird backwards way because I want to save the data while I'm operating the sketch, but then I'm thinking about the future when I'm running it again that I want to retrieve the data. So right there in setup, before I create this, so right there in setup, the moment I create the slider, I should see if there is data available already stored, and then I can set the slider to the position that I'm retrieving. Then I can set the slider to the color value that I'm retrieving. Get item is the P5 local storage function to retrieve data. It's freaking me out. Ah! I guess I'm just going to allow it. I'm going to allow it. The P5 editor is doing something fancy there to show me a red color, but I haven't actually typed that. It's not part of the key. Ah, it's driving me crazy. Brazil. I love you too, Brazil. This is making me so crazy. Fine. Oh my God. Is this P5 doing it, or do I have some like extension? Oh my God, this is so insane. Help. No, I don't want this. Okay. Excuse me, I just burped there. I don't know if that came through. I don't have noise reduction on. Yeah, it must be. I'm gonna address this. Yeah. Okay. I'm very sorry to overcomplicate this video, but there's this new thing that's happening in the P5 web editor. When I type the word red as a string, it'll actually create this automatic color picker, which is kind of amazing and would allow me to do so many wonderful things, but it's getting in my way right now. So I'm going to change the name of my key to red value. So now I'm retrieving the red value. If it doesn't exist, it will just give me the value null back. So as long as r is not equal to null, then I can set the value of that slider to whatever I retrieved from local storage. All right. I'm going to unclick auto refresh, which could add some wonkiness if it's running and rerunning here. I'm going to run the sketch. I'm going to give myself a little bit of red. I'm going to hit stop, and I'm going to run it again. Oh, local storage, where have you been all my life? Isn't that amazing? Just like quick and dirty persistence right there. All of the data is locally stored, so it's not going anywhere. It's just right there in your browser, and it works. Oh, I love it. Let's add the same thing for green. Let's add the same thing for green and blue. All right, let's see what we've got here. First, we create 3 sliders. Then we attempt to First, we create 3 sliders. Then we attempt to retrieve 3 values from local storage: a red value, a green value, and a blue value. If there's a red value, set the red slider. If there's a green value, set the green slider. Okay, this one I forgot to update. If there's a blue value, set the blue slider. And then make sure that anytime I change any of those slider values, I store those 3 items. Now, technically, if I'm only changing the red slider, do I need to store the new green or blue? But it's easier just for me to not worry about it and always store all 3 anytime there's a change to any of them. Whoops, I have a little typo here. That needs to be a lowercase. Everything is case sensitive. And now let's run this again. Well, we start with that red value. Now let me add a little green, add a little blue, take the green down, get rid of all the red, more green, and stop. Okay, everybody. It's the moment of truth. Let's run the sketch again. I love it. Okay, now, so just give me a second here. I need to close all these things that I had open. One of the things that's really quite wonderful about local storage is it saves the data beyond any given session. Meaning, if I were to quit the browser, I'm going to do that right now. Whoops. Then relaunch the browser. Go to the P5 web editor. Log in. Go back to my sketch. And run it. I still have my data. Oh, it's amazing. If I were to go to an incognito window, however, take a look at that sketch and run it, I am not getting those same values. But they'll store, I don't know, maybe I don't want to go down that road. Now, if I were to open up a different browser, go to an incognito window, maybe open up this page on my phone, I wouldn't get these colors. This is only for this particular browser on this particular computer. It doesn't even matter if I'm logged into the P5 web editor. I'm going to log out, go to that sketch, and it's still pulling that. It has nothing to do with any account or anything anywhere. It's just data that's being stored in the browser itself that's running on this laptop. All right, let me log back in. Certainly if I were to clear the cache, now it's really up to the browser to choose how it implements local storage, so it depends what browser you're actually using. But in almost all cases, I would imagine if you clear the cache or clear your browsing history, that local storage will also be cleared. It is important that you think carefully about these. It is important that you think about the key names for what it is you're storing. Oh yeah. This is a totally different P5 sketch, different URL, and I can still access that blue value. Is it domain specific? Oh, is it open DevTools and show Web Inspector? Okay, actually, let me not go down this road. So where can I find it here? Network, sources, domain. Where would I find local storage? Under application. Got it. if you want to dive deeper into looking at the data, if you want to dive a little deeper and look at the data itself, you can look at your browser's developer tools. Here in Chrome, I want to go to Application, and then right here under Storage, Local Storage. And you can see, how do I click on it? Oh, there's more here. And here I can see, yeah. There's lots of extra stuff there. And now I can see the key. I was like, why don't I not see everything? It's because I have my windows in weird places. Now I can see the key and value for all the data that I'm storing. Now there's lots of extra stuff there. One, the P5 web editor makes use of local storage. Two, I've been playing around with this earlier today, so there's extra stuff in local storage. It is unique to the domain. So I can only have one red value, green value, or blue value for this P5JS preview window, which is what I'm actually seeing in the pane when the sketch runs. So amazingly, if I were to create a new sketch and call get item red value, I'd still have that value. So if I'm using local storage across multiple sketches and always staying in the P5 web editor, I've got to be careful about my naming. Now, let me show you. Now to keep things simple, I stored red value, green value, and blue value all as separate items. But one of the nice things about what P5 does is it allows you to pass a JavaScript object, and it will turn that into a string that can be saved in local storage and then unpack it back for you as a JavaScript object. So I don't know how you found this video, and JavaScript objects might be new to you. I'll refer you to my tutorials about classes and objects and those types of things. But if that's familiar to you, let me show you how that works with this example. So here I would change. So for me, what I'd want to do is create a new object. I'm going to call it colors. And give it 3 properties. And then instead of storing individual numbers, I can store that full object as one with, and then instead of storing individual numbers, I can store that full object associated with a single key. I'll just name the key colors. And save the colors. This will also allow me to simplify these if statements because I don't need to check each of them individually. So now I'm asking for a JavaScript object called colors. If it is not null, I can pull out the R, G, and B properties and assign it to the correct slider. Let's run the sketch again. Uh-oh, unexpected end of input. Oh, I just forgot an extra curly bracket here. So I don't have my data from before because I renamed everything. But I can make this nice purple color, hit stop, run it again, and there we go. Okay, so let me look at my notes here. Wheel, okay, oh, no. Limit 5 browsers. I did the color palette. Yeah, I mentioned everything. Okay. Local storage has some significant limitations. You can't store more than 5 megabytes of data. I don't know, is that per domain? Must be, right? Local storage has plenty of limitations. You can't store large amounts of data. I think the limit is 5 megabytes. Oh, I'm getting a phone call I want to get, but I'm going to have to let that go to voicemail. Oh, every browser is a different limit. Okay. Local storage has its limitations, specifically the amount of data you're allowed to store. I think that's determined by the browser itself, probably around 5 megabytes. Maybe I'll add some more information about those specifics in the video description. 5 megabytes. Why use local storage instead of cookies? Because cookies feels like a complicated privacy weird also thing. I don't know. But I would love the answer to that because I would say the answer in this video. An object example using the convenience of the color picker. Web workers. I'm trying to think of what else. I mean, got it. Got it. Oh, this is super helpful. Where'd you get that from, Adam Fighter? Let's see. Is that from here? Thank you for. Yeah, cookies are set at the server. Sorry, you'll just have to describe to me where that data comes from, since you can't post a link. Web.dev storage for the web. Okay. It says it should be avoided. No, but I love local storage. I feel exactly the opposite, but okay. Thank you to the Twitch chat that's following along with my recording. Thank you to Adam Fighter. Thank you to Adam Fighter and others in the Twitch chat that are following along as I record this tutorial. There's this excellent post on web.dev/storage for the web about different kinds of storage mechanisms. Session storage, cookies, the file system API, and I would encourage you to investigate those. It oddly enough says local storage should be avoided because it is synchronous and will block the main thread. It is limited to about 5 megabytes. So this is also where you will find some of the downsides of using local storage. And in fact, it even says it should be avoided because it is synchronous, blocks the animation or It's synchronous, blocks the main thread, is limited to only 5 megabytes of data. But these are actually the reasons why I love local storage, because it's a really quick and really easy solution for having persistence without worrying about all sorts of asynchronous extra code and data. So if you just want proof of concept, ability to store some simple numbers, some simple data, some settings for your creative coding application, then I can't recommend it enough. I could keep going with this. I could keep going with this example. What if I could keep going with this example. What if I used that color to set, I could keep going with this example. What if I used that color as the, I could keep going with this example. What if I used the color I could keep going with this example. What if I were to, I got it. I could keep going with this example. What if I used that color and drew in the canvas, and then every time you reloaded the page, you got elements of your drawing back? What if it were to tell you how many days in a row you drew? All of these things are possible. I would love to hear from you in the comments. What is your scenario that you might like to use local storage with? I'll include extra examples linked from the video description that will go along with this video. And if you've got any great ideas for me, and if there's anything that I really missed, I could do a follow-up video and address it, or come back to it on a future live stream. So thanks for watching. Hope this little extra P5 video helped you with your day and whatever you are coding. And I'll see you next time on the coding train. Yeah. Okay. All right. Anything that anything that I should address or that I might have missed? I think this should be a nice, I'm going to stop the recording. I think this should be a nice short video and scene. So I've got to go. It's after 5 o'clock. My kids might already be home, although a message came in that they were stopping for bubble tea on the way home. So we've got to get dinner going and all of that, get the weekend going. But this, I kind of hope that this video would actually be out like Monday or Tuesday, because I wanted to just have something new on the channel. It's been a while, and the wave function collapsed. So before I go, let me mention a couple things. Joseph, if you're still watching, apologies. I didn't really get, let's try to work on, and maybe chat over Discord or whatever, the macro data refinement stuff. I'll just merge. I'm just going to merge. And if people are interested in following that, please come and join on GitHub. But if you're curious about what is the next really sort of big project that's coming out for the coding train, take a look at the wave function collapse repo, which is a big project, that a wonderful algorithm that I implemented over the last 3 live streams. You can find those on the Coding Train Twitch archive if on YouTube. There's this extra channel that has all of my recent Twitch streams archived. And then, of course, there is the Coding Train on YouTube, which is the main channel. Yeah. And remind me in the Discord to make sure I contact all of the winners of the sticker giveaway. I can't give people's names out because I didn't think in advance of how to add an option. Do you mind if I announce your name that you won on a live stream? All I have are people email addresses, and I don't want to just announce those on a stream. That's all I've got for today. Thank you, Abhijit Mankani. I'm sorry. Hopefully I'm not messing up your name too badly. Thank you to Adam Fighter and Bruno and Joseph and Unicorn Coder and Daygenet and Market9 and DJ Mangus, all of you wonderful people. I will see you for some live streams next week. Hopefully some new videos coming out. Say hi in the Discord, introduce yourself. If you subscribe today on Twitch, if you have a Twitch subscription, you should be able to get into the certain channels will be unlocked for you in the Discord. And Way AI is there. So hit me up. Daniel at thecodingdrain.com. It's the email address I check the least, but I do check it. So I will see your message there. I always appreciate when people send me feedback and notes and even constructive, thoughtful criticism. Little sneak peek at the wave function collapse algorithm. This is the whiteboard drawing from the last time I did it, and I will see you all next time. Let's see if we can raid. So let's go see if we can raid anybody. I'm going to my, how do I do this? Okay. I'm going to go to video producer, stream manager, raid channel. Coding Garden, will you please stream? Food Masku, I'm so glad you're still here. Amazing. Thank you. Does that train emoji is for like a Twitch hype train thing, and Food Masku contributed to the hype train, and that's why I have a train. It's not a unique coding train thing that I made happen. I don't have anybody to raid. If anyone has a suggestion for a channel we should raid, I'm game. But all the channels I follow are not currently live streaming. Oh, that's great that you're taking a break. I fully support your break, Coding Garden. Please come and join and hang out with us any and all times. Oh, and coming really soon is the new Coding Train website. So that's going to be, I'm very excited for everybody to see that and have a chance to take a look at it. Okay, I'm seeing lots of wonderful train emojis, but if we don't have a good suggestion for a coding or like a streamer we can support, Dead Mao is doing some fun stuff on Unreal Engine 5. Deadmau works with okay on Twitch. Well, all right. I don't think they need a raid from me. Let's take a look. It's intended for mature audiences. Okay. Oh, and now I'm watching an ad. All right, let's raid Deadmau. So I'm gonna follow.
Cereal good too though.
What is this?
And all right, everybody. I think Deadmau, by the way, I think Deadmau, and I'm saying it wrong, Deadmouse, or Joshua Davis, old friend, generative art pioneer, and Deadmau 5. Joshua Davis has done a lot of visuals and things. They've worked together. So that's my slightly tangential. There we go. Okay. We are heading to raid. Everybody good with this? Music producer, yes. Okay, you all ready for this? Tim Bidet. Okay, we'll do a smaller streamer that we can support more effectively. Okay, so raid channel, Tim Bo. Software and game development. Okay, ready, everybody? Here we go. Everybody be nice, be kind, be generous. Welcome them all aboard. Join their train, whatever is happening. Be the nicest, kindest, most generous raiders on the internet. That's all I ask of you. See you next time on the Coding Train. I'm going to start this raid. Okay, I forget that I have to click twice. All right. All right, ready? Here we go. 85 viewers are ready to raid, and here we go, raiding now.
Cretin? I'm killing all of the names. Choo-choo. Welcome, Dan and Raiders. How are all of you? Thank you for the raid. What were you guys up to? What's going on here is we're chasing down a bunch, and I mean a bunch, of issues. I make racing games as a business, and right now we're working on, hey, you know what? Let's go ahead and play it. It's limited to 10 people, so it's gonna be the first 10. And if you guys, if you're a regular here, maybe let some others jump in. But we got an online